22 of Exodus, I'll take it 1 to 15 and split it in half. About property rights, Old Testament. These are good laws other than eye for eye, tooth for tooth. That's why the mystery of forgiveness, everyone really wants it when it comes down to it and needs it, like for murder and stuff. Whoever steals an ox or a sheep and slaughters it or sells it must pay back 5 head of cattle for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief is caught breaking in at night and is struck a fatal blow, the defender is not guilty of bloodshed at night. Like today in Texas and other places, right? In a carnal world without the New Testament, hey, that makes good sense. But if it happens at sunrise, meaning you could see the guy and everything, you can call people. He says they must pay. The offender is guilty if he kills him the defender is guilty of bloodshed. The guy who's defending his home, if it's daylight where everything is seen, in other words, he can get help, and that's what it says. Okay, and get help. So it's something to keep in mind for the carnal world today. Anyone who steals must certainly make restitution. But if they have nothing, they must be sold. That's how it was. Their body for a slave to pay for the theft for whatever time. If the stolen animal is found alive in their possession, whether an ox or donkey or sheep, they must pay back double. If anyone grazes livestock in a field or vineyard that lets them stray into another man's field and graze, they must pay for what it ate, restitution. If a fire breaks out and spreads into thorn bushes so that it burns some shocks of grain, some grain, and some standing grain, or the whole field, the one who started the fire must pay restitution. If anyone gives a neighbor silver or gold for safekeeping and they are stolen from the neighbor's house, the thief is caught, must pay back double. But if the thief is not found, the owner of the house must appear before judges, or God chooses, or God, and they must determine whether the owner of the house has laid hands on it, meaning he's lying and he stole himself of the person's property. In all cases of illegal possession, needs to be judged, right? A case. A trial. All cases of illegal possession of an ox, a donkey, a sheep, a garment, and anything else, personal property that someone says is mine, must be going in front of judges, or God chooses. Okay, verse 10, if anyone gives a donkey, an ox, or sheep to another animal, or another animal to their neighbor for safekeeping, and it dies, while no one is looking, the issue must go in front of they must be taken an oath that the neighbor did not lay hands on it, and the personal property owner is to accept this and no restitution. But if the animal was stolen from the neighbor, restitution must be made from to the owner of it. It is torn to pieces by an animal, then he should show the proof of the wild animal, the man, and he doesn't need to make restitution. If anyone borrows an animal from a neighbor and it dies, and the owner is present of the animal, there's no restitution. But if the owner is with the animal, the borrower will not have to pay if the animal was hired. In other words, if it dies and the owner is there, it doesn't need to pay.